Their poop is liquid. And it just splatters everywhere.
Snake Farm Podcast, Episode 2. What's up?
What's up?
What's new in the snake world?
We got a really big snake. She's big old 16-foot albino retic. She seems sweet. We took her out the other day.
Oh, you weren't out there in the garage this morning.
No, I was not. What happened?
So you had left. We opened the door to put the big water bowl in, and she was on the other side of the cage. I'm like, we fed her a big old rabbit yesterday. She's going to be fine. And she came across that cage and, yeah, about 4 feet out, mouth wide open.
Oh.
And it was like you and Cody were walking by right at the time, too. And she was like, woof.
And then we were feeding the Burmese a big rat.
Yeah.
And she targeted wrong and shot right past the rat and almost got brandle.
And then his life flashed before his eyes.
That's what I said. Did your life flash before your eyes?
It did.
Yeah.
Other than that, I don't know that there's anything new. Well, our building is supposed to be here next week, so the guys just took out some trees to put the building down.
Ripped all the fruit trees out. That's kind of sad. It looks very sad out there right now. It's very
big holes,
uneven, and
how long have those trees been here?
I bet they've been in 10 years.
Yeah. We
put all those trees in originally at like the very first party. A bunch of people came into and we didn't know how to plant trees at all.
Or where we even wanted them.
We had a bunch of people in town. We dug big, huge, like 4 foot by 4 foot by 4 foot boxes, basically holes in the ground, and we had them all the way out to the road. And for the first year, the trees did really well. Like they produced fruit and everything. Mm-hmm. But out there, the ground is a lot harder. So like we dug all that shit with shovels too. And we didn't know nothing about planting trees. I put a bunch of like wood mulch in there and
potting soil
and all kinds of shit. But what it basically did is over time, it was just a concrete box basically, and it would fill up with water and it just rotted the roots away. So all the trees out by the road just one by one died. Mm-hmm. And these ones here, they're uphill a little bit, and it was able to kind of wick and, pull moisture out. So these ones did pretty well, but they've been in probably 10 years.
But the big one had the bug, whatever the bug is.
Yeah, the peach trees get a bug in them. So it basically is in the soil, I guess, and it comes up. You can spray chemicals on them and stuff, but
Is that like every peach that you would bite into or whatever?
That's why that worm's in there, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep, that's why we didn't really eat them. We would just slice them and, pull the bug out and then freeze the pieces or, dehydrate them or whatever, freeze dry them.
Mm-hmm. We are going to go to a Jackson reptile show tomorrow.
That's Jackson, Tennessee. It's in the past, it's been lame in the past. It kind of smells.
Smells like a pet store.
Yeah, it smells like a pet store, like an old school pet store. But it was, you go in there and it's a exotic animal show, but it's not like we were going there as a reptile show. But there's a few dudes there with a couple snakes and stuff. There's usually a person with like a 6-foot Burmese or something you can pay to take a picture with, and there's a lady that has kangaroos. But we met Fraser Family Farms there originally years ago, and they have bobcats and monkeys and all kinds of stuff. But as far as a reptile show, we haven't seen it in years, but it was kind of lame for a reptile show. All the reptile shows back then were kind of lame compared to the ones we've been to recently. Whoever's doing the promotion and stuff on them, putting those shows together, it's a lot better. And I talked to a lot of vendors, and they said that during COVID, things really picked up. The prices skyrocketed, and people really came into the hobby and just were able to. I guess they just had time, right? They didn't have to go to work and had a spare bedroom or something. That became the snake room. But the prices really changed around COVID, they said.
And I was gonna say, specifically with ball pythons, that's the one thing that I've noticed the most is the explosion of ball python breeding is bizarre. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, I realize it's because they're easy to breed, but like the morphs that we were looking at 10 years ago that were $5,000 are now like $200 or $300.
Well, that's because it's 10 years.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they're so prolific now.
Everybody bought those $10,000 babies, and then in 3 years started producing their own, and it kind of saturated the market.
Yeah.
It's just exponentially they came out. But I mean, it seems like Bob is doing well, like Bob's Balls.
Well, I think because he's that kind of guy. I think he's just gonna
Anything he touches,
yeah, he's just going to
probably
succeed.
so. There's a lot of dudes there with very nice displays, and that's what when I talk to them, I'm like, that you hear me ask that all the time. Like, are you able to do this full time? Like, do you have to have another job to cover this, or like, is this a hobby that pays for itself? Like, what pays your bills? Like, and I'm always surprised when the dudes are like, no, I'm full-time snake guy. Like, that pays all the bills.
Yeah, that surprises me too. And out of all the people that we've bought snakes from, I don't remember any of them being like, yeah, I can do snakes full time. I know we talked to guys that said that, but like even from Morph Market, everybody that I've bought from has a real job in addition to, selling snakes online. So
Yeah.
just very interesting. But I wouldn't ever think, oh, you can do snakes full time as your only source of income. I mean,
If you added in social media with it, I think that would really greatly supplement that. But most of the guys we've bought animals from are pretty terrible about social media.
oh yeah.
I'm like, what's your YouTube? What's your Instagram? And I mean, look how many guys we've bought animals from that don't even have an account on Morph Market.
Yeah. Well, that's like, so John really wanted this Motley Golden Child retic. And we've seen several of them, and one came up for auction on Morph Market, and it was like a short auction. And I was like, yeah, I'll just go ahead and, bid on this thing. And so I win it, and it's literally the only thing this guy has listed. So I win it, he reaches out, and I was like, what else do you have? And he's like, oh, well, I've got hundreds of snakes. Oh, but
Where do I see them?
but you don't have a website. They're not on your Facebook, your Instagram, and they're not on Morph Market, so how can I buy them? And he's like, well, tell me what you're looking for. So we went back and forth, and he sent me pictures of several snakes, and I was like, you really should put these on your Morph Market page so that you can sell them.
For anybody that doesn't know, Morph Market is kind of like forums used to be. And if you want to buy an animal, Morph Market's cool because it does have like old school forums on there, and there's a lot of catalog of information there. But anybody that's breeding or selling wholesale or reselling, Morph Market is a place you can go, and there's a category of different types of reptiles. So you can click on pythons, and then there's subcategories of that. So whatever you're looking for, it's there, and there's different levels of it, right? You'll see something that costs significantly less, and you'll see something that is the peak. And generally, you get what you pay for. Sometimes you're paying for the name of the guy that it's coming from, and then sometimes those guys are just reselling. Like they bought a bunch of stuff wholesale, and they're able to, charge a premium because of the name of their company. But for the most part, you kind of get what you pay for, especially with breeding stock and animals and stuff like that. Just like not always with horses, but a lot of times that's the case. And everything's there on Morph Market. So that's kind of where it used to be fauna classified. And then when I was doing snakes, 10 years back, kingsnake.com was the thing. And back then it didn't even have like a thumbnail picture. You had to click on it and see what was there. And I bought a lot of stuff off of there. That's how I, hooked up with Brian Barczyk, and we bought a ton of stuff from Brian Barczyk. Recently passed away. Well, a couple years. I guess it's been a couple years now.
A couple years now.
And then Kevin from Nerd, we bought stuff from him. So that was off kingsnake.com. And then Facebook was good. Like Ben Siegel Reptiles. I actually talked to him the other day, and he's very active on Facebook. But for the most part, like, unless you're just selling off of Craigslist or you're able to sneak it in somehow or into a group on Facebook, Morph Market it's everywhere. And they have bids on there. You can go on there and get animals a lot of times. And a lot of times the guys selling it will have a fake account, or they'll have a friend that will really bid it up quickly. But she's bought a lot of stuff off of there way under value. And then like this guy, it was what's his name? Kevin Smiling
Jim's Constrictors.
Smiling Jims. And that's the dude that had no other pictures. So he came back to her and was like, look, if you want these other 5 animals, the shipping will be the same, and I'll give you a killer deal on them. So he'd actually posted a Motley Golden Child on Facebook the other day.
Yeah, it's on auction right now.
And and he had put it up there, and I go, man, that's a beautiful animal. He's like, it's on Morph Market. I go, yeah, I have one identical, looks just like it that I got from you.
Yeah.
I go, as a matter of fact, I have 6 of your retics. And he's like, oh, I guess I should have recognized you. And I, no, my wife bought it. And I go, we did a video. It's on YouTube. We did an unboxing video and
I
tagged
sent
you.
it to him.
Today?
No,
When we did it?
As soon as it was released, I sent it to him. So Morph Market is very much like Etsy or Craigslist, but for animals. And it's only like snakes. They don't do
Reptiles.
birds. Everything's cold blooded. But they do have this auction thing on there, and like, there's a reason I don't gamble, because I am really bad about it. And auctions are the same way, which is why I don't use eBay unless I have to. But a lot of the time, you'll look on there and it's got like an hour left and the bid is $100 when the snake is probably worth $500. So you put in like a $5 bid. And then sometimes you get in this bidding war with somebody,
Which is automated.
but they have an option to where you can become a store if you pay their like $3 a month or whatever. So I am a store, which gives me a max bid potential or availability. So I literally go on and I'm like, okay, so this snake I'm willing to pay $250 for. Put my max bid in, and the system will auto bid for me every time somebody else bids on it.
That's how eBay was.
Yeah, and I have won a lot of things that way just because I did a little bit of homework. Like, there's got to be an easier way to do this and not have to be staring at it the whole time. But he just put up another one just I guess the other day, maybe this morning, because I get a notification since I follow his store. And it's a 70-hour auction, and currently the bid is at 0.
70 hours is a long auction on there.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's kind of like that website Snipe or whatever.
Never heard of it.
Not
It's
used
like
it.
you use it on eBay. Same thing. You go in there and you like pay $5 a month or whatever,
And it auto bids
and it
for
auto
you.
bids up to a certain
Interesting.
amount.
Yeah, so Morph Market is a lot of fun, but I'm doing really well to stay off of it unless I get a notification.
There's a lot of big reptile YouTube channels that say that the auctions are kind of ruining the industry too,
Oh, I bet.
because it definitely is lowering the price if you're able to get those things cheaper. However, I think a lot of people have produced a lot of inventory and they're not able to
Move it.
move it. It's like Wildfire Retix was saying. He's like, if you got 25, 35 eggs in this clutch, and most of them hatch, or a good amount of them, he's like, if you're going to breed 100 retics and you have 100 clutches,
Oh my God.
that's 3,500 animals. Like, where is that going to go?
Yeah, what are you
It's-
gonna
It's
do
just
with it all?
irresponsible. You're destroying the market. You're going to have all these animals that you're not going to be able to take care of. That's a lot of animals to have to feed, every week and clean cages and stuff. So, do you just breed just better stuff, or, what do you do? And I've thought too, like, we have good animals, so that if we produce them, we'll produce, good, babies. But at the same time, while you're going to a show, you could easily buy wholesale, like, I don't know, corn snake. I don't like corn snakes. I don't like ball pythons. It's just not my thing. And but you can buy wholesale. Like, we were buying corn snakes for $15-$20 a piece. You can still get them wholesale, or even, king snakes, baby king snakes are $100 a piece now. We were buying them for $35 all day long. Mexican black king snakes, we were paying $45, and now they're $100 for a baby
or more.
But you can get wholesale. You can buy up in a quantity of 10 for $35 and feed them, grow them up to, a year old. They're definitely going to live at that point, even if somebody, really neglects it. And you can take them to a show and just, undercut the value. You're probably not going to be very popular doing that, especially to the dude selling a bunch of corn snakes. But corn snakes, we see them at the show, but not like you used to.
No, not like you used to at all. And I've noticed that the ones that you do see are like the designer ones. They're the ones with all the special paint jobs, which I appreciate because I like the weird looking stuff.
Well, I would take them to shows. Like, if we start, I guess we're going to do shows. I hadn't even really, but we've never done a reptile show. Not as a vendor, but I would take those animals and give them to kids, like kids that are just enamored with them. And the mom, can he have this? Here, you can have this.
Yeah.
You can take this home with you.
Give them a little container with a water bowl and stuff.
Like that kid's gonna remember you forever.
And I mean, every parent too that is at a reptile show probably owns some reptiles, and their kid is with them.
Maybe, yeah, yeah. And I mean,
or they're at least curious about it, if nothing else.
and at the same time, there's people there selling caging and substrate and like everything you need is there at the show, and it's so prevalent now. People think pet shop, like we went to PetSmart to buy some feeder goldfish, and she's like, I want to get some mice. I'm like, you are not buying frozen mice. They sell them in this little cardboard box like an apple pie from McDonald's.
Yes, that's
and
exactly
it's called
what it looks like.
what's it called?
Arctic mice.
Arctic mice. And there's like 2 frozen mice in this little cardboard box, and they have a little freezer of them there. But we buy, and people don't know, and you can buy from Rodent Pro, you can buy a bag of 100 mice, but you're still paying like $65 to ship the 100 mice. What is it?
No, at this point in time, if your order is $99 or more, your shipping is free.
But a normal single mom with a kid is not going to be able to spend $100 shipping mice.
No. And those people are going to be better off finding a smaller solution.
Yeah, I mean, we are a smaller solution for somebody within 20 miles
absolutely.
of here. They can come here and I'll give you a frozen mouse.
Yeah.
Just, whatever you want to do. There's a lot of options.
Yeah, I think the having the little cage and everything ready to go for them if you're going to give them away is a good idea, simply because that single mom, she's not going to go pick up a puppy because now she's got to go get dog food and all the other shit to go with the dog, right? But same thing with if here, I'm going to give you this snake.
Well, how many apartments you can't have a dog in,
Right, but what I'm saying
you
is...
can hide a snake. Even if you're not allowed to have the snake, you can hide the snake.
If you give them a total solution, they're going to be even more grateful for it or happy.
And like you're gonna set the course of the next generation. We were giving patches and stickers away to children at gun shows when their parents would come up, or their whoever they were with, the father, brother, whatever, and we would always pay attention to those kids. And now we've been in the industry long enough, 35 years, we have those children coming back with their children now, and they're like, when I was a little kid, you gave me a patch or you gave me a sticker, and that stuck with me. And they're like, I remember you from when I was a child. And now they've gone in the military or they've gone to law enforcement, and now they're standing there holding their child's hand. So,
and I was going to say, a lot of parents, especially parents who just don't have a lot of money, they will go to these reptile shows as like
the zoo.
Like a zoo, something where you can go and you can see these animals. And a lot of vendors, they'll let you hold their snakes and their lizards and their birds and all that stuff. So it really gives that kid, a totally different experience than going to the zoo. Plus, it's free.
Well, it's not free to get in the show.
That's true. You're right. What is it, $10 or something? It depends on the show, but it's still going to be way cheaper than the zoo.
And they're like, I'd rather go to a reptile show than the zoo. The zoo's going to have a few cool animals.
And a lot of rules.
And a ton of rules. Yeah, the reptile show, you can, if you're into reptiles, once you've seen the giraffes and the lion and the tiger and the bear, the snakes are what people want to see, the snakes and the lizards and stuff. And you go to a reptile show and you've got 30, 40 premier breeders with super, super rare stuff there.
Yeah. And every breeder is going to have stuff that has different paint jobs. So you can go, okay, so this is a reticulated python, and so is this, but these two look totally different. And so you can totally stimulate like your artistic brain just looking at the different morphs that these snakes come in. Like that entertains me quite a bit. Just being able to look and see and the difference in, okay, I know that this is this, but
I get tricked all the time. I'm like, holy man, look at that. That's so cool. Oh, it's a ball python.
A fucking ball python, man. Like I love albino snakes. So white background with a yellow pattern. And every time we go to a show, I'm like, oh man, it's so pretty, such a pretty albino. And then I realize it's a ball python, and I'm like,
you can have a ball python.
So what's
but I've
wrong
got
with the ball python?
Nothing. There's literally nothing wrong with a ball python. They're actually great pet snakes.
So ball pythons are like super chill. They don't move around a lot.
I've had some pretty. I got bit a lot by ball pythons.
Typically, a ball python is not gonna bite you unless you like really aggravate it. They don't move around a lot. They don't need a bunch of cage decor. They don't need a fucking snake tree. You know, they don't need any of that shit. And as long as you can get them to eat in the beginning,
They all eat. If,
You know.
if they're at a show, those suckers are eating. When I started doing reptiles, when I was probably 15 to 18 years old, Santee Reptiles or Santee Pets, I think it was Santee Reptiles. He had brought in some wild caught ball pythons, and typically a ball python was called a ball python because when it was scared or its defensive mechanism was to roll into a ball, and that's why they're called ball pythons. They would just they'd coil up into a ball. And I had one, and it would not eat. Actually, I was probably 12 to 15 because I remember Mom taking me to get this thing, and I bought it, and it would not eat. We could not get this thing to eat anything. And now there's different types of rats, right? We were trying to feed it mice. We should have probably tried small rat babies, pups. Now there's African soft fur rats and maybe baby rabbits. There's a lot of options we didn't try, but I didn't. They weren't available, and I didn't know they existed because the internet wasn't there to give you the answer to everything. So we were like taking boiled chicken. I don't even know why. The dude at the reptile shop is like, boil some chicken and cut a piece off, and you're going to have to force feed it, put it in its mouth. If it won't eat, push it further until it swallows it. And I kept this snake alive for a year and a half, making it eat. And it was eating, which was so bizarre because you saw the other day, Amanda had chopped up some raw chicken breast, and I don't know why I was cooking it. I don't know why the dude said cook it, because snakes don't need cooked. Like, they don't get salmonella or anything like that. Amanda had some chopped up, cut into chunks, raw chicken breast to feed the water monitor. And I remember I was holding it, and I go, I wonder if, I know what'll eat this. Let's see if this black king snake will eat this. And he ate it and swallowed it so fast, I'm like, I thought he dropped it. I'm like, I don't know where that went. Here, have another one. And he just kept eating them. Like,
gulped them down.
Now, you don't want to, that can't be the diet, raw chicken. I mean, it can definitely eat it, but those animals, they need the bones and the calcium and the minerals and everything else that goes into there. But it was just a trip
To watch it
that
happen.
we never thought to do that back then. It wasn't even an option because you just didn't know. And now, like, I remember I would go to once a month the herpetology, the study of reptiles and amphibians. And the San Diego Herpetological Society was pretty decent. It's a pretty good club. So Mom would take me to the show or to the meeting once a month. And back then, there was albino, was it boa or was it Burm? I think it was a Burmese python was the first albino to come in. And you started seeing them pop up. They were about $5,000. And then people were taking and breeding that to a normal one, which would give you the possibility of having a heterozygous, which would have the recessive gene for albino. And then you could breed that back to the albino and possibly get albinos if that het proved out. So that was the first of those. There was no albino ball python or anything, but guys were going over to like Guyana and different areas. And you and I could fly to, where these snakes are and get with some dudes, and you go out and they'll hunt and catch these, and then they can be imported. But now there's whole like facilities where they catch them or they breed them over there and then they bring them in. Whereas once they're here, now they're bred inside the United States. You're not going to have any parasites or anything like that. Well, typically you're not. And then they've closed off importation on a lot of animals. Like when you talk about big pythons, for people that are not familiar with them, when they see big pythons, it's generally going to be a reticulated python or a Burmese python. Those are the big ones. Whereas the ball pythons, at the max, they're going to get, 5-6 feet. I think you were there when I said, hey, what's your biggest snake? And that dude pulled out. It was a ball python. I was surprised to see that because we bought that retic from him. And that was a really big ball python. But typically they just don't get big. So people started breeding them, and then they got all these different morphs, and they figured out how to breed them back, and they can make all these different color patterns, and that's where they came from. But back 30 years ago, there was nothing but just a normal, and they'd sell them, they'd bring them in wholesale, and then you'd buy like a normal ball python or a fancy ball python. It just had a little different color pattern or just looked cooler. And then they just started working with them. And then somebody found, I would assume, I don't know on ball pythons, but I would assume that a wild caught albino came in. And that's where that all came from, was from 1 or 2 import animals.
So they're just easier to have as pets, mainly?
Yes.
Yeah.
They're easy to handle, and as long as they eat, they're easy to take care of.
Well, you've seen the retics, right? They're a different animal. It's like dealing with a velociraptor.
They have a bigger brain.
Whereas a ball python, you just set a ball python here, it's going to cruise around. You're not ever going to worry about picking it up and that thing turning. And if it does bite you, you don't care. And it's not going to be 25 years later, that animal's, potentially 20 feet long. You're not going to have that with a ball python. We can keep that ball python in any of those cages we have those little retics in for the rest of its life. Whereas right now, you've seen us change snakes twice now from one cage to a second cage. And now we're to the point where, oh shit, we have to build caging because we need more square footage on the floor. We need 32 feet of floor space.
So do you think that people sell more, as far as the snake world goes, do they sell more at conventions
Yes.
than they do online?
No, I think they sell more online.
You think so?
Yeah, I think they do. It's an impulsive buy. People are going to go to a show, but if you're buying the best, you have to go to different shows, right? So that's a commitment in travel and time. Like you want to see the coolest shit, we're going to probably have to go to Pomona in California or to Florida to the National Association of Reptile, NARBC there. Where's Daytona? That's where it's at. That's where Bike Week is too. Those are going to be the best. Now, Bob's show a couple weeks ago in Atlanta, that's probably the best show without going to one of the coasts. But that show we were at in Atlanta a couple weeks prior to that was a pretty good show too.
It was a pretty good show. It was pretty good, yeah.
But I mean, the simple fact that Bob Vu was not set up at that show probably says a lot too.
Well, because he was getting ready to be set up in 3 weeks for his own show.
Still.
I don't know. He's set up in Nashville. He'll probably be in Nashville again in October.
Mm-hmm. You should come out.
Is that the Repticon?
No, it'll be the Reptile Plant Show.
Yeah, it's the North American Reptile and Exotic Plant Expo.
And Curiosities.
And they're just going to keep adding to it.
More power to them, man. I would love to see an event that is as massive. Like we lock these things in, and that, the bigger the bigger the draw, the better. Like add that. Plants, cool. Birds, awesome. Bring them in. Like that is good for everyone.
Yep.
Every person that paid to be there, every person that is putting or promoting a show, that's good all around. That's just money. Concessions, vending. Like they might not be there to buy a snake, but they might buy a T-shirt with a snake on it. Like that's good for everyone, man.
Do they have like live music and stuff? Is it
No live music, but
not that I've seen it in them.
But it would be cool. It would be cool if they combine it with oddities, because snake people are weird and oddities people are weird. So
Weirder.
I mean, I really like going to those places because I look totally normal there. Regardless of what I look like, I look normal.
I always want to look at the weirdos.
I do look at the weirdos.
What are you looking at?
I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
Have you been to one yet that sells things like outside? Like, hey, come to my car.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah, we've seen some of that. Yeah. Not at the snake shows. I mean, I'm sure it absolutely happens. I mean, you've been to Blade Show. All the best stuff that sells in the hotel rooms the night before the show.
We've definitely seen it at gun shows.
Not like illegal shit, though.
No.
Yeah, there's like cash and carry stuff for sure.
Just I'm not going to have a booth because I only have this one shotgun I'm trying to sell, kind of thing.
I mean, we went to SHOT Show and didn't have a booth. We did a party, and then we had an after party at SHOT Show, and we had our whole product line was there. We sold product and had a party and the whole deal, rather than going to the show, because I mean, we can do a way better deal selling outside without the booth, without the crowd, and without all the nonsense. That was happening so frequently that SHOT Show was trying to ban people from even being able to go to their show over it.
I don't remember what they called it. Do you remember the word they used?
No.
It wasn't arbitrage. It was something like that, though.
Yeah, I don't remember what
They
it was.
they did not want you to be selling if you were not selling at a booth inside of the convention center.
Yeah, they were trying to limit parties and control all kinds of shit.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So what are you hoping to find this weekend?
Nothing.
You're hoping to not find anything?
No, I think it's going to be completely lame.
So that means we're coming home with birds, right?
No.
No?
Monkeys.
What?
Monkeys.
No.
Monkeys are really expensive. Like, to have a monkey you even want to have, it's 20 grand.
Yeah. Like the last show we went to in Chattanooga, the lady who actually has monkeys there, and she had monkeys, I swear to you, that were this big. They were literally the size of my 4 fingers, and that was it. $20,000. It was like 2 weeks old.
Well, she had capuchins and like stuff that would get bigger. But that's a full commitment. That's
Yeah.
like having a premature baby
Yeah.
that you have to feed by hand.
And
for
change its diapers.
For the next, year.
And it's going to bite the fuck out of you as soon as it gets teeth.
Birds like birds at a show are going to be really expensive. If you want to buy macaws or, and that's a 120 year animal, right? You get a macaw that's 20 years, that thing's going to live another 100 years. But if you want those, you look on Craigslist and Marketplace and you find some old lady that's just really old and her family does not want to take those birds. You see that a lot. I've seen recently a lot of macaws and African grays. The African grays have an incredible vocabulary, and they have cuss words. So they're putting them in they go to these shelters and nobody will adopt them because they have a vocabulary of just all kinds of cuss words. I'm like, man, that'd be awesome. If I could get 3 or 4 of them birds, they could teach each other how to swear. And we're warm enough through the year that we could put them in outdoor enclosures. We could build outdoor enclosures, probably 8 to 9 months out of the year they could be outside, and then you're just gonna have to bring them in the rest of the year into it. But I don't have to have them in the main building. We can have them in an outbuilding like this building, and it's super easy to heat and cool these, and you just have them inside. And birds like that, you don't even necessarily have to cage them all the time. You can have them out on a play stand or whatever. You'd have to sterilize the building quite a bit. You could easily take, this is 14 feet wide, you could take 14 by 10 feet of this and just wall this. I mean, you'd have to, wood it off or, use metal or something because they can be very destructive. But you could just do the front as a cage. Like we could do kennel cages in there. So, and that's going to be the thing, like with the big tortoises, we're going to have to bring them in, in the winter when it cools off, and we'll just put them in a big, 6x6, basically raised bed planter kind of.
We'll just go buy that $100 big tub and put dirt in it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd put cypress mulch or whatever down,
Fucking
and a
kidding.
heat lamp. I mean, they'll kind of go dormant. The temperature can lower, but you don't want them, underground and shit.
Yeah,
out
you
here.
don't want them outside.
Yeah, I've
But-
seen people take these buildings and put the dog. Like,
Yeah.
You see them at Tractor Supply. They're just chain link fences.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they've just put them throughout the buildings to.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. But I would use the better ones. I would use the target, like what we use for our kennels and stuff and our chickens.
The 1x2 wire or whatever.
Yeah, the welded
That's what you
wire.
would need for a bird.
Yeah, I wouldn't use chain link. Yeah, for sure.
But like he was on for a while about a bird. He wants these big birds that are so loud, and I was like, let's just get the little tiny birds that just like beep 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 beep. They're quiet. They don't make as much of a mess either.
Well, there's up past Jackson. There's a drive-through zoo, and they have an aviary, like our row house. It's a little bigger, and it has a spring-loaded door. So you walk in, and it's all budgies. It's all parakeets. There's probably 1,000 of those things flying around, and they're flying around hitting you and shit. Like in Harry Potter, when they go in and the keys are all flying around, it's like that, but they're all little parakeets. And I thought it'd be cool to have an outdoor, because like we have the mesh, right? We could do a hoop house or something like that with wire, or even with just shade cloth would hold those birds in for a season, no problem. And we could have, a couple hundred of those things in there. Every time we go to PetSmart, I'm like, let's buy all of these parakeets right here. But we can get them wholesale. Like they charge $50 for those things. We used to buy them for $15.
One day I'm going to shock him and I'm going to say, okay, let's buy all of them.
She always does say it. She always says that.
And he's like, but you don't have any birdhouses. I have a ton of birdhouses upstairs.
No, bird cages. No,
Yeah.
you can't put.
No, you can't put them in there.
Those are for canaries and finches. Those old bamboo Victorian bird cages.
Well, they're not really for birds either. They're for decoration.
Well, they were for
Yeah.
birds 200 years ago.
We could put one in that clear glass thing that has the black iron on it.
That Victorian terrarium. No, you put a gecko or something in there. Cool.
Yeah. I'm looking for a jungle carpet python.
You're not gonna find a good one here. The best jungle carpets are coming out of Las Vegas right now.
Yeah.
From SSS Serpents.
But I want a little one.
He has them.
I want to start a baby.
Yeah, he's got them. The real Tarzan was over there, and that guy's got like a private zoo at his house.
Yeah.
Man, he's got a massive. He's got a pool installed on his property. He probably lives in like Henderson or somewhere. And he's got this massive pool with all these waterfalls and a cave system that they built when they rocked in and landscaped. And the cave, and he's got an underground tunnel that goes to his neighbor's backyard to his pool. It's got these big old slides and lagoons and stuff. But in his basement, he just has, dude, I don't even know how big. I'll bet his basement's 10,000 feet probably as big as our building. And it's all just caging. It's beautiful. And he's got real high-end animals. But Vegas is the place. Like that Tarzan dude, he's building a zoo in Temecula right now. And then the dude that's got the cassowaries over there in Texas, he's building a big-ass zoo out there, too, somewhere in Texas. Huge.
I just cannot imagine choosing to live in California. Like,
No,
all
nor
the
can I.
fucking-
But, I mean, for what he's doing, I mean, because he was just in Australia. He was
yeah, he's
in
living in
India.
California where they have, like, the most regulations in the country.
Yeah, but I'll bet Temecula's is as crazy as California is. Temecula's pretty free. We were riding dirt bikes all over there, and everybody's shooting guns and stuff, and it's still kind of out there.
Yeah, it's definitely out there. It's getting to be bigger and bigger, but
We're gonna need a bigger place.
not in Temecula.
No, not in Temecula. You
Not
need,
in
you need
Temecula.
hundreds of acres of property, thousands.
Yeah.
All right, so kangaroo this weekend.
Brando's gonna have to come change its diaper because I'm not doing
touching
it.
it.
I'm not changing diapers.
We'll get a person to change the diapers.
I am not changing diapers.
They even make kangaroo diapers now. You don't even have to cut the hole for the tail anymore.
Yeah, they even make clothes for my 12-foot skeleton now.
Monkey diapers.
You don't even have to buy 6X clothes on for them. There's a market for all that stuff. But, yeah.
All right, you ready to go back to work?
Sure. I'm totally not opposed to buying a bunch of little tiny birds.
What kind of little birds?
I don't know.
Like parrotlets or
Little birds.
conures?
Little birds that are quiet.
There is no quiet.
Yes,
little-
there is.
Not cool ones. Conures are the loudest shit out there.
Yeah,
They're
I don't
fucking
want
little
that.
little parrots.
I don't want that. I love my quiet snakes. I don't want loud birds.
I don't think conures are even considered a parrot.
No, I think
you got
conure is its
ringnecks.
own.
You got ringnecks. You got conures. What was that little parrot I had? I had a little Taka has one. What's that little gray-headed parrot he has?
I have no idea.
I can't remember. Okay. Parrots.
No.
You just said little birds.
Little birds. Little birds. That are going to stay little.
I'll buy a caiman if I see one.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. I should have bought that black one at the second show we went to in Nashville. It was sitting up on top. It's that it was about this big. Black caiman, all black.
I don't remember seeing that.
I can get you a vulture.
I don't want a vulture. I do not want a
They're on
vulture.
birds on all the time.
Yeah, yeah. My buddy's got a whole nest of them in his building right now. I'm like, why don't you kill those?
Yeah, imagine having one that sits on your arm.
That's what that chick said. The chick with the owl. She's like, I'm hoping to get a vulture.
Yeah, she did say that. She did say that. And by the way, one piece of information that I got from that encounter is that owls, they literally just poop. It just literally comes right out. It
Projectile.
Like projectile poops, and it's liquid, and it just goes all over the place.
And owl pellets, where you see the owl poop and you look
It's
and
not
it's got
poop.
the whole skeleton. They regurgitated that. That's not poop.
It's not poop. That came out of their mouth. Their poop is liquid. And it just splatters everywhere.
There you go. Now you know.
Now you know.
All right.
All right.
Snake Farm.
Snake Farm.